Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and welcome to another episode of News Round at Anfield Index. It's all a little bit quiet at the moment, isn't it? There's not too much going on, you could argue, from a Reds perspective, but then again, you could argue there's international football, there's transfers, there's contracts, there's many things to get sorted, be it for Hughes, Ward, Edwards, or whoever. But initially, this is News Round, and I'm your host, Dave Davis, coming to you from quite sunny Edinburgh, actually. It's quite nice. It's been a nice week, and it's been a glorious weekend, even though I was away. Fingers crossed, it is nice, it is warm wherever you are. And we start asking, as we always do, how are we? It's an interesting week in the sense of it's the eye of the storm a little bit, and whether people like it or not, it's just been nice to have this little break, hasn't it? Just to reset after everything that's happened. That after, and I know you want to forget these, but after the PSG defeat, after the Carabao Cup final, that little change and little break from everything Liverpool, so to speak, has just been really nice for me. Anyway, you may see it differently, and I know there's probably some watching or thinking, God, I hate international football. I just want to get back to it. But after two defeats on the bounce, maybe it was just a nice little thing to have that small separation, if you don't want to call it a break, from everything Liverpool. Hopefully you've enjoyed that as well, because there's plenty coming up. And also, when we talk about how everything is, I'm sure you've seen the rhetoric this week that they've desperately tried to enforce from the UK media. And if you're not in the UK, you obviously, trust me, literally they're trying to make it the famous line, just a title win. Just a title win. We know how much that means to us. We know how important that is. And I make no shame whatsoever in putting this on the screen to look at Liverpool 12 points clear with 9 games left to go. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Steve there saying it's been awful. That's fair, Steve. International break isn't for everyone. But I'm still of the opinion that this little, I can't call it a reset, but little break for everything Liverpool will just suit a lot of people. Just personal opinion on that. So hopefully most of you, if not Steve, have enjoyed that. And if we think of the news that's come from this weekend or even recent weeks, it's all had a nice feel to it, hasn't it? It was Liverpool legends versus Chelsea legends at Anfield. A lovely treat from Crouchy there. You saw him getting a couple, Stevie G. I swear you watch him, and I only watched the highlights of it. Don't get me wrong, I didn't watch the full game, but just a little bit of a pre-season. I swear Steven Gerrard could still play in our midfield. I swear, honestly, he was just, it never leaves him, does it? That passing ability, the vision, everything like that. Yes, it's a charity game. Yes, all those types of things, but absolutely brilliant. And most, if you look at the Liverpool side, tends to have that, doesn't it? All the good well wishes, the charity bits there as well. Foundation doing a cracking job, raising a great amount as well there. And one thing I think it is so important to mention, because there's a few articles there around the WSL, and Liverpool, unfortunately, were beaten by Arsenal ladies, weren't they, at the Emirates? But that's something special. A Liverpool legend, Natasha Dowie, coming on in the Legends win. I think that was a pivotal moment, and it's a great role model to have and something important for young girls, ladies, etc. to see. So it would be remiss of me not to mention that. That is a cracking touch, no two ways about it. This one, though, this is the big news, isn't it? And this is the one you are all tweeting about. Some of us losing their heads or verging on that precipice. I mean, there's a few comments already coming in. Midnight Toker saying any Liverpool fan giving Trent a hard time after what he's given to the club is a mong. Ethan Chadwick saying still believes Salah and VVD will stay. Trent, I believe, is off to Madrid, unfortunately. And to be honest, Ethan, that's largely where I sit right now. And it's almost a unique situation that we're talking. The lad from West Derby, boyhood red, everything that's happened. Who, when you speak to any of your Liverpool mates, actually believes that Trent Alexander-Arnold is staying at Liverpool right now. Like, literally, every mate who watches football, is involved with Anfield Index, anything around Liverpool, I can't think of one person right now that's saying Trent's going to stay. It comes in variations. People almost bracket them together, don't they? Going, hopefully we still got to get VVD and Salah, but Trent's gone. Hopefully, some people just, even the most positive ones, saying, I think Salah and VVD will be announced, but they're keeping it back because Trent's leaving. It's funny, isn't it? Just the way people are putting it that way. And even Roy O there saying Trent is replaceable, Mo isn't, VVD will be tough to replace. And honestly, that tweet from the Anfield Index account, which is the right thing to do because it was a headline from Marca, and you can all do your Marca and nonsense, Real Madrid mouthpieces. I am not debating any of that. But the reaction to some of it, honestly, people saying that, oh, why are you reporting? Because it's out there. We report it because it's out there. Whether you agree with it or not, whether you think it is made up, completely up to you. But thinking about what isn't made up, what's real, does anyone actually believe Trent is going to be at Liverpool next season? I don't. I have no belief whatsoever. It's just interesting that the way it's readily accepted right now. Brendan's saying there as well, and this is the differing view. It's okay to be mad at Trent for going. It is hard to believe a boyhood Red would leave with so many trophies still to be won. And there's been reports, hasn't there, recently, as Trent wanting it's not about the money, it's about ambition, and the Red showing they're going to get trophies. That seems to be the reporting line, doesn't it? You're all going to have your own take on that, whatever I say. But yeah, would have been nice to have got something in the contract break, wouldn't it, around a contract for one of the three. And there'll always be rumours about Salah being imminent and things like this. We will have to see what happens, but we all know the clock is ticking fast on this one. And it is international break. Now, I despise the international break, and fair play to any of you that love your countries, love your international football. If that's your thing, dad on, very happy for you. It's just not my thing. I don't even find it interesting football at all, the way it's played. Although, call it hypocritical as I'm saying this, I watched the Netherlands-Spain Nations League, isn't it? That was all right, actually, the penalty and the drama and all those types of things. So, yeah, it's not for everyone. And the international break, there was a little bit of where's this going? Because Canate was taken off at half-time by France in their first game against Croatia, so you had a bit of a concern for that. Then, if you're not on YouTube and you can't see it on the screen, the Dutch team tweeted that, didn't they, that Ryan Gravenberch had left their camp, still suffering from an injury. Yeah, sustained over the weekend from the Carabao Cup, so that wasn't great. You then had the Alisson head collision, didn't you? Concussion. So there was a bit at the start where you were thinking, where's this going? Now, we don't know 100% yet, but Alisson already tweeted, absolutely fine. All the reports seem to be around Gravenberch that, yeah, it was more just precautionary and it's a great rest for him in that regard. Ibu was on the bench for France last night, wasn't he? An unused sub. So actually, when you start looking at the internationals, and they go all the way through, if you look, until next or Wednesday coming, which is the South American boys. So you'd expect that Darwin, you'd expect that Marca have still got those to be the last back if you want. But even then on the Wednesday, that's still a whole week before the derby. Although, did you plot that this weekend? Both Everton and Liverpool tried to move it forward, interestingly, didn't they? Tried to bring it forward 24 hours to the Tuesday. So both happy with that. Everton want the extra day. Liverpool to go in line with Arsenal in that regard. So they both failed, but they were both in agreement. An interesting one, that. But if I look so far at this international break, and even you go back to last night of where we are, Szoboszlai clocked to 90 in Hungary versus Turkey. But he's rested. He's got a bit of rest now for that derby. Robbo, 70-odd, Kostas unused in that Scotland-Greek game. So it's not ultimate disaster, shall we say. Yeah, Queeve starts there. As I said, that France-Croatia unused substitute, Canate. I don't see that. That's a great thing, personally. Canate not really getting many minutes, only 45 across this whole international break. I think for me, that's the big winner so far that I've heard. Jota, he came on just after the hour and that went to extra time. So he's got 60 minutes in his legs. And I don't know about you, but just the way Diogo Jota's been recently, maybe that isn't a bad thing. And speaking about people who maybe could do with minutes in their legs, Cody, maybe longer than we wanted, but Cody Gakpo's paid back-to-back 70 minutes for Holland. I don't know, maybe just the way he's been when we've seen him come on, that could be really useful for us as there. The only really disaster but bad thing I didn't like, there's Virgil playing extra time. The minutes just rock up in his legs. You just wonder about that one, don't you? But it is what it is. And almost in a strange way, out of every player that we've got, maybe the skipper is just the one that you're hoping. I don't know whether I don't know what the phrase is, but yeah, it's not a bad international break so far. And if you think of ones that are coming up, you'll have Curtis likely today for England versus Latvia. On Tuesday, Mo has got his qualifier. Harvey's got a friendly, but Mo's got his qualifier, hasn't he, at 7 o'clock for Egypt against Sierra Leone. Hopefully they don't use Harvey, although, you know, people will debate whether his importance, but that's a topic for another day. And as we say, it finishes with the South American boys. So actually, touch wood, fingers crossed, everything so far, it could just be a lot worse. And I'm saying this, like say, fingers crossed, praying to baby Moses and the orphans and everything like that. So we will see what happens there. So when we talk about the week ahead, it's just a case of getting people back, isn't it, as fast as we can from internationals, praying there's no injuries, praying there's no issues. The only other big thing I think we'd really like to hear in this week ahead, and Brendan's made the point there, if Trent goes with Bradley's injury record, we need to sign another right back in the summer. Well, it doesn't look like Trent's going to be fit for the derby. There's no real news if Connor Bradley yet is going to be fit for the derby. Hopefully that would be the big thing this week ahead. How good would it be to see, I don't know, on Thursday, Friday, Connor Bradley in training? That would be a massive lift, wouldn't it, across the board for everyone? Just because, and this is no disrespect to him, and he did his best, you've seen how bad it's been without Trent there. We just, especially you think of that Carabao final, this is no offence to Jarell Quansah, who did his best, but it doesn't have that passing range. He's not a natural right back. He doesn't underlap or overlap like a Connor Bradley would. We could really do with a right back as quickly as possible. And at the same time, and I adore Connor Bradley when I watch him play. Don't know if anyone clocked this weekend. It was a stat that came out. I can't remember where it was from. But since he's been back with Liverpool full time, Connor Bradley's now missed as many games as he's been fit for. Yeah, there's just a few question marks there. So when I talk about the week ahead, one thing I'm looking for is, can we get a right back fit for the derby? That would be absolutely massive. And of course, transfer links are abound. And some are just funny, some are possible, some are intriguing. They're all different things. This made me laugh. Harry Kane linked with Liverpool in a few places, as if. That was a funny one that made me laugh this weekend. As if Liverpool are going to be interested in Rodney whatsoever at his age, with his injury records and all that type of thing. So, yeah, that was a funny one. This one intrigued me. Malik Fofana, left winger, Lyon. Agent says that Liverpool is his dream move. Now, everyone knows about Lyon's financial issues and their American owners and all the problems they're having. And it's been Cherky that we've been linked with quite often, hasn't it? Around Cherky, that link just won't go away. And I know some people were putting in the comments about similar to Harvey, etc., etc. I've only seen him a few times. I don't purport to be a Leon expert at all. He's an interesting player. His stats look interesting on the surface as well. Maybe you just wonder if he's a bit young, a bit raw to be a Liverpool first teamer. But it would be interesting if he's one that Liverpool would, if it's quote unquote opportunistic, have a look at all. So that was one that sort of piqued my interest there. Ivan there saying, yeah, Bradley's fitness is a worry with Trent leaving. I do worry the talk of offering Trent deals. I couldn't believe he wanted to stay. Yeah, that Trent stories, the Trent stories will rumble as well. And this is the other one I wanted to point out. This is a funny one, this Dean Huijsen link. I mean, he's just made his debut for Spain, did quite well, got an assist, in that Netherlands game. The thing about Huijsen is talented, yes. Release clause, yes. Richard Hughes will know it. He negotiated it. So, there's a lot of things there. On the other side, you question his aerial duel rate. You also, like it or not, question, it's a 50 million quid release clause. That's everyone's understanding. That's a lot to pay for essentially what you want to be a backup. Because you suspect Gomez is going to go. So you think, okay, Huijsen comes in and people will do that. And I get that all day. And as I say this, I can see the chat panel starting to comment already. Where's he going to get his minutes? That's the question, isn't it? Where's he going to get his minutes? And people will say, Canate gets injured, Virgil Older, etc. But part of why he's developing at the trajectory is because he's playing regularly for Bournemouth in a very good side. And alongside Zabiani, I think it's pronounced, doing very well. I think also at the same time, a lot of people have mentioned Liverpool, but he's mentioned, Brendan, there you go. Brendan's just put it as well. He has said that he wants Real. He named Sergio Ramos. So that's just one that I think has piqued a few people's interest. So definitely one to keep an eye on. But transfer links are going to rumble all the way through. As is this talk, even Dirk out saying at the weekend, everyone who likes Liverpool wants these players to sign new contracts. The only other reason I brought VVD and Salah on the screen for those who can't see the visual element is David Ornstein even mentioned them in a Q&A. Won't be going into that too much because later today or midday-ish in a couple of hours, I'll be speaking to David Lynch on Media Matters about that. But yeah, those two, the talk around those two is interesting. Probably maybe the completely wrong word it is. We all just want it done, but we could only read or speak about what we see and hear, can't we, on that? The week ahead as well. Yeah, there's no games, but we have got you covered. We've got plenty of shows out on AI. So analysis on the likes of recent links like Schlotterbeck, Frimpong, Adam Wharton, and there'll be more coming this week. As he said, Media Matters will be coming midday today. We'll be pressing David Lynch on a few of the recent rumours and a few videos he's done as well about transfer links. It'll be interesting to see what he says to us. There will be the normal shows out as well at the same time. So keep an eye out for everything Liverpool content-wise. But whatever gets said, ladies and gents, here's one thing that cannot change because it's FA Cup weekend. So I think Arsenal are out, Liverpool, we're out. I think it's only probably City of the big boys left, but someone may correct me on that in the chat panel. Ultimately, what does it mean? That Premier League table cannot change at all. Liverpool will stay this week 12 points clear at the top of the league. There will still be 9 games left to play. Lego Head will still be raging and saying silly things. Whatever gets said, that picture will not change this week. So enjoy your week ahead. Fingers crossed. There's no injuries or anything like that. Touch wood, all the boys get home safe. Touch wood, all the boys are, in a strange way, just having a little bit of a mini break when they come back, just ready to go again for the intense running to the title. Because that's what it is now, people. It is the running to the title, and it is right to be excited. So there we go. Monday, the 24th of March. That was another news round at Anfield